Hi, this is Larry of ManCave Mayhem, and today it is a blustery, rainy Southern California day, so we're gonna do some inside work today. I'm out here in the ManCave, my happy place, and I'm gonna be working on my 2024 Honda CT125. Now, this is specifically the wife's bike, and we are gonna be adding a little more fuel capacity to this bike and a little more storage capacity, or let's get more specific, a luggage rack. And I'm gonna be installing an SRC MOTO luggage rack and auxiliary fuel tank on this 2024 CT125. Now, SRC MOTO, I've been working with them and they've kindly sent me this to try out. They gave me a discount on it, so I just wanted to be upfront on that. But man, what a great bunch of people they are to work with. And I just can't say enough about them. They're good people. They're located in Oregon. So when you make a phone call, you get an answer. People, they talk to you. You're not waiting for customer service or anything like that. They're really a good group of people there. If you haven't checked out SRC MOTO, they got products for all kinds of different bikes. I think you guys will find that SRC MOTO has got some good products and good customer service. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised. I want to give you guys as honest a review as I can about this product. We are going to unbox it, we're going to weigh it, and we are going to install this, and I'm going to show you how easy that is to do. Then I will give you my final thoughts on that. If you haven't yet, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Check us out at Instagram at mancave_mayhem. Now, let's get on with the video. All right, this is how it came packaged. I'm not gonna bore you too much with the unboxing, but we'll do a time lapse on this and get this thing unboxed, and we'll talk a little bit about the quality of the product, and then we'll get this thing weighed. All right, as you can see, we got this unpackaged. It's pretty straightforward, and the way it came shipped was all together like this. So it's this is gonna be a fairly simple install. I think you guys will find it straightforward and easy to do. The quality of the product is just awesome. They just make good stuff, and that's all I can say about it. I think you guys would be highly impressed. This fuel can is a 0.75 gallon or a 3-liter can, so it'd give you quite a bit more range if you're taking some long trips on these little Trail 125s, which when you get out in the middle of nowhere on these things, you really want to have some extra gas. The hardware, it's basically 3 bolts and some spacers, so you're not going to have a lot to do here. Now, I know one thing is we're going to be removing the toolkit. Now, I don't know if that goes back on or not, but we'll find out here soon. Let's get this weighed, see how much lighter it is out of the package, and I'll get to you real soon here. Let's get this on. Let's get in here. Scale is zeroed out. Now, let's put this bad boy on the scale and see what we're looking at for weight. I'm gonna throw the hardware on there too. And it is actually just a little bit over 5 pounds, which is not bad at all for a heavy duty rack slash fuel can jerry jug carrying system. I think you guys will be real happy with that. Let's get this bad boy installed and see how she looks. The tools needed for this install is a 5mm or a number 5 Allen key and some beautiful blue thread locker. That's it, baby. As far as hardware is concerned, you're getting 3 bolts and 3 spacers. 3 bolts with washers and 3 spacers. These are Allen head bolts. So that's gonna be, you're gonna need a number 5 Allen key. I'm not sure if that's gonna transfer over to the bike, but I believe they might be a little bit bigger. We got number 5s on the toolbox, and yep. So all you're gonna really need is a number 5 Allen key for this. And then you're gonna, I always like to put a little Loctite on my stuff. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Usually SRC will send a little bit of Loctite with a package. They didn't on this one. I don't know if it's usually done on bigger orders or what, but anyhow, you might want to use a little blue Loctite because these bikes tend to get vibey. So let's get back over to the bike and we will get this installed. All right, first thing we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna take our number 5 Allen key, or 5mm, whatever you wanna call it. We're gonna go ahead and take off this toolbox, the factory toolbox. So we'll get that taken off, and then we're gonna move on to the next step. I'm not sure if we can still use this toolbox or not. I'm gonna try and use it and try and put it back on. We'll see how that all works out. But the way it's showing me how this goes on, they don't show it with the toolkit, so we'll see how it goes on. And I'm just gonna test fit this. All right, now we're gonna move over. I have a bunch of other accessories on this bike, but we're gonna focus on this bolt right here. And we're gonna pop this one off. Now I already have a spacer on this for the rear tail light guard, so I'm hoping that this doesn't interfere with the SRC Moto setup, but we will soon find out. So we're gonna take that out. Now this already has a spacer on it, so that could be problematic for me. I don't know. We may not need that other spacer. All right, the first thing that I did was I put the short bolt on, and if you don't have this bracket here, I originally had a spacer here, so I just used that existing spacer, but you'll probably use the SRC Moto spacer if you don't have this headlight guard. So now I'm gonna swing this up into place, and I need to keep this a little loose so I can reference it. And then what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put this here so it's not dangling. And so I can reset. So I've got that set up now, mocked up a little bit. And these spacers are here so you can put your existing toolkit back on, which is really slick. I think it's a nice setup the way they made that. So I am going to get this started with a spacer on it, and then I'll pull that other one and put the spacer behind it. So I'm loosely fitting this. Once I got that fitted, I can pull this bolt. That way that rack's not dangling. So now we're gonna take the second larger spacer that came with the kit, and we're gonna install it on here. Get that installed. I like to loosely fit these just so I can get everything lined up, kind of mock it up a little bit before I tighten everything down. So these are gonna be loosely fitted. I just wanna check and make sure that everything's clearing. And so I'm gonna put the gas can on, and I can see that it's gonna clear everything. And yeah, so let's go ahead and tighten this down. And there you have it. I like to make it more complicated, but it really isn't that hard. Yeah, I wish I could say this was a complicated install, but it really isn't. So that's basically the rack. And we're gonna move around on this and I can give you some better views of it. So if you're wondering how it looks from the rear, we'll go ahead and move to the back of the bike, and you can kind of see in reference how far it sticks out. It doesn't really stick out far at all, so that's a good thing. The only thing I would say negatively about this is possibly with the gas can on, you could do some damage if you fell down on it. You can see it kind of sticks out with the gas can, but hopefully you're not getting crazy on this bike anyhow, you know? So this is kind of how it looks with the can on. We'll go ahead and throw this on. There it is. Okay, so what are my thoughts on this fuel can or jerry can and rack from SRC Moto. I really like the quality of their products. You can't go wrong with the quality. The only negative I would say about this whole kit is the fact that possibly this sticks out a little further, but that's just the nature of the beast. There's not much you can really do about that. You've got a lot of extra capacity in the, I know it's 0.75 gallons or 3 liters, so you got a lot of extra fuel capacity for this bike to give you a little more range. You're not getting crazy on this bike anyhow, so this would be ideal for somebody that's going to go and take some long trips on these bikes, and I think this is something that my wife and I will be doing in the near future. So I think this is going to play a significant role in our adventures. So I'm real happy with that. If I had to say a negative, like I said, it would be the fact that it sticks out a little ways, but you also have the crash bars that are going to protect a lot of that. And also maybe weight. That's the only 2 negatives about the whole thing, but it's 5 pounds. And on these bikes, you're not trying to win a speed race anyhow. So I think that's going to be a moot point. So overall, I'm super happy with SRC Moto. I hope I gave you an honest review on this product. Very easy to install. You need one tool, and that's a 5mm Allen. And that'll get this thing installed for you. I like to use thread lock too, so that's another thing you might want to consider if you're installing it. But if you haven't yet, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Check us out at Instagram at ManCave_Mayhem. Check out SRC Moto. Their website has a plethora of off-road products, and I think you'll find that you'll be very happy with the customer service and their quality. Thanks again for watching, and just remember folks, I'm just a man in a cave causing mayhem.